Just to show you guys what I'm working with here. Like, it is a gorgeous day here in Florida, by the way. It is absolutely gorgeous. I've got some great neighbors here, and here. You know, they're all very supportive, including Ulysses. But yeah, look at this monster I'm working with here. You know, I mean, what more could you want? Big, an absolutely beast of a man truck right here, you know. And we got Cat. This cat, he's meant for the streets. Look at him.
Meow.
Pretty awesome. And yes, his name is Cat. For those of you that don't know, he was a stray. We picked him up, and we just always called him Cat. I think my wife picked him up from the street and called him Lucky Cat, and then it went from Lucky Cat to just Cat. So yeah, that's his story. But enough about that. We are going to dig into this build. So here we go. All right, how's it going, guys? My name's Space Vet Mike, as you guys know me. If you guys haven't heard of me, I've got a lot more content. Please check it out and like and subscribe. Today, we are going to be working on my Suburban. It is a 1987 GMC. I'm not sure if it's 2500 or 1500. It's really old. There's been a lot of aftermarket parts that have been put on it. So we're gonna dive in to this build here. This video in particular is going to be taking a 14-bolt rear end, which is what I currently have in the truck. It's about 1 ton rear end. But the downfall is it's got the old drum brakes, right? But the drum brakes are just kind of like a really terrible old design. And I'm going to be putting these disc brakes on. So they're brand new disc brakes. These big beefy disc brakes here. We'll be putting these on, and we'll see how much better the braking power is on the truck after I get done. And hopefully it'll be good. Sorry, I keep hearing things. So this is going to be a full brake conversion from the drum brake to the disc brake. These are heavy duty brakes. The other thing that I got with these is I got the brake calipers and the ceramic brakes to go with it, and they're also heavy duty. And then I also got the heavy duty parking brake with this as well. So we'll be installing a cable for the parking brake. And yeah, we're going to test everything out once we're done and see how this goes. The only thing I'm curious about is what is that thing called? I don't know if I need to install a hydro boost or not. But the other thing that I've got is I've got this GM axle hub nut socket. So this should help take apart the assembly. I've never done this. So I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, and we're going to figure this out together. One way or the other, this is going to get put together, and we're going to figure it out. So what I do want to show you guys, though, is these things right here. So these are my stands. So these guys right here are jack stands. My old ones, these are my old ones, right? And I'm going to show you why I was using these before. These were just cheap. They worked good for a very short period of time just to change tires and stuff like that. But now that I'm going to be wrenching on the axle, trying to get the old drum brake system out of there, there's going to be a lot of banging and all kinds of things trying to get them broken loose. But you can definitely see the difference in the stands. These are a lot more solid and durable. These are about 50 pounds a piece, and they're rated for up to 10 tons. Probably way overkill. Probably didn't have to go that route, but I did. These 1.5, 1.25 or 2.25 ton jacks are just, they don't make me feel safe. I didn't like them, and safety first, right? And also I got these really cool jack stands. I think they are called Sunex, and they're probably for semi trucks. But I've got a huge, massive lift on my truck, and I'm sure you guys saw in the beginning of this video what it currently looks like and how big the lift is. And in order for me to feel safe, I just wanted to get better check stands. The axle on with those 38.5-inch Super Swamper mud bogging tires to the center line of my axle is about 18 inches off the ground. This here is about 18 inches to the ground when it's at its lowest setting. So I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be really stable for what I need. And then, another inch up. So because it's the center line of my axle, I will be up, if my tires were on, I would be up off the ground a few inches. As you can see here, even if I was at the tallest setting here, the tallest setting there, I'd have to jack it up, remove the tire, let the axle down, and it would be in a lower position, but it's still like unstable, you know what I mean? Like it's not great, especially if I'm like wrenching on it and stuff like that. This one, it ain't going nowhere. Like, and I got two. They came in a pair. Lucky me, right? So, the other thing that I had was I had this really crappy 2.25 ton jack. Not this one. There's one under the table. You guys can't see it. I'll show you guys later. But I built a bunch of wood up under it because my lift is so tall, right? And so it was just a terrible setup. Now I've got this amazing Road Dog 3-ton jack. So it's not much more as far as like lifting capacity, but it is a lot wider and a lot longer, so it is a lot more stable as far as like lifting load goes. And this has got this really cool adapter here, where if I need more surface area and I don't need it just tall, I can do that, or I could, because I've got a lift, this works out great here, right? And so the other cool thing about this is the really cool thing about this thing here is I can jack this up, right? I can take this pin out. I can lower it down. I can change this, put this on like this, and I can get under a low car, right? And so it's like, I can lift up a just normal car, or like you saw before, my standard setup for my truck, change this pin out, and it just starts high. That's at its lowest setting. So at its lowest setting, it's almost up to my axle already, right? My axle's about here, so just doesn't take much. I'm at the axle right there probably. And I've got a lot more, I could definitely go a lot higher with this. The max setting is pretty cool. So I do recommend these. I mean, I've had nothing but success with this. I've already lifted up my truck with it already. It is brand new, so I've only done it once, but look how high that thing goes. That's how you do it. All right.
Love you.
Love you, babe. I don't know where she put my stuff, but. Need to go up just a little bit more. Got plenty to go. Just a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit I can get in there. I know you guys can't see this, but this is like pretty sketchy. Both tires off the ground. This old ass truck. Oh no, I gotta go up. Gotta go up. Let's see if that's seated. Uh-oh. Don't like that. Nope, I don't like that. We're going back up. I mean, at least it wouldn't have gone nowhere. I don't know how close we are to that light up there, but I need to get that on camera. How's that? How's that? Am I touching? I can't tell. You guys let me know. I'll check the video out later. But I think it's safe to say she's probably good now. All right. All right, let's let this thing down slow. Ain't go nowhere. Not with them jack stands. Ain't go nowhere, not with them jack stands, baby. Those 10 tons, 10 tonners. Yeah. Check, check, check. 1, 2. All right, so just for some clarity, this is a 14 bolt rear end, and what we're looking at here is the hub, and the hub here tells us that this is a full float 14 bolt rear end. Okay, and that's important to know when you're buying your kits. You just need to note what kind of what type of rear end you do have, because they're all slightly different. You got half float or partial float or whatever it's called, then you got full float, and then you obviously there's like the dually version and stuff like that too. So we just need to take into account that we have single wheel, full float, 14 bolt rear end, and we buy the kit. I've got the kit up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off, and hopefully this is satisfying in some way, according to a lot of people. So let's just see how this goes. Also, I'd like to shout out to my buddy Billy. He got this Impact, and he knew I didn't have one, and I was doing this with, you know, some manual tools, like real manual, and he's just like, dude, just fucking borrow this real quick, and I was just like, all right, thanks, man. So, you know, shout out to Billy. Tires off, technically. Gotta take the bolt out, but. Can you tell how sweaty I am? Let me know in the comments down below. It's, you know, it's a nice night here in Florida. But man, that humidity kind of gets people. And there we go. Look at that. Roll her on out. All right. So, all of that work, just getting started here. I'm just gonna take the other tire off, just like I did this time, and not really gonna do a whole lot different tonight. Tomorrow, I'm really gonna start getting at the disassembly here hard. Maybe take a metal brush, put it on a drill, and probably try to clean up some of this rust here. You can kind of see there's just like, it's like a lot of debris, grime, and everything. I know a lot of this is getting replaced, this drum here, with the disc, but I do want to clean this up before I take these bolts out, and then that way it's already ready to go back on nice and clean, and I can just spray paint it when I'm done. Because that's kind of what I want to do, just to kind of protect it from rust, get some rusto, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It's a truck, right? A very, very unique off-road truck. I don't know if you've seen, pretty big and heavy duty. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to like hammer some of these back into place. They do look like they have gone out of place a little bit there, but it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, this is a 14 bolt full float rear axle, and we'll get this going. All right, let's go do the next tire and call it good for tonight. I've got a newborn baby, by the way. He is today's Tuesday, so he is exactly 14 days old today, and which is amazing. His name is Hudson. I'm very proud of him and my wife. They do a really good job, both of them. He's working hard to get big, and she's working hard to heal up from delivering my son. So very proud of both of them. All right, hopefully this won't take but a few minutes, and hopefully you guys can watch, and hopefully you guys like what you see. All right. There's that. Here we go. under my truck. Will it fit under? Oh, is it gonna fit under? All right. That's how you know you got a big truck. I just fit that 38.5-inch mud tire underneath the truck while it was jacked up. That's how you know you got a big truck. This side looks definitely a lot cleaner. I don't know why. Maybe it had some oil continuously like it on the side, or maybe it was leaking diff fluid. But we're obviously going to replace the differential fluid. So hopefully by putting new seals on this side and the other side, hopefully maybe that'll take care of that. Yeah, that's it. That's all we're doing tonight, guys. So, you know, I appreciate the support. I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully that you like and subscribe. Thanks. See ya. All right, guys. So it's been a few days. I didn't start on it yesterday just because, you know, I was helping my wife out, and we had some neighbors get together for a little party for us because we just had a baby. So we had kind of like a post-birth baby shower with the neighbors. We weren't expecting that, so shout out to them. They were really great, and got us some extra baby clothes, which is good because our child is growing like a giant weed. And anyway, much thanks to them. They were really great. This build is gonna kind of be intense. I've never done this before, so we're gonna be just kind of diving right in and starting. We're gonna just take everything apart and see if everything that we took apart was even necessary. We're gonna take a look at these bearings that are in here, pull this axle shaft out, and get these drums taken apart and drain the differential fluid that is currently in here. So it might be a little bit of a mess, but we'll see. I've got everything set up. But now that it's light out, I did want to show you guys like this giant jack stand I'm dealing with, because I'm not sure how clear it was in the nighttime. I haven't checked the video yet, so I'm just gonna get this as like a secondary video, right? So as you can see here, we've got the drum brake set up here on this 14 bolt rear end. We've got a full float 14 bolt. That's what this indicates here. This bolt pattern along with this hub indicates that this is a full float. And if you look here, look at them jack stands. Like, this is just absolutely incredible, right? These are 10-ton jack stands, and you know, obviously because I'm going to be yanking on this rear end here, I did not want this thing to move. Like you can see, like I could just like really push on this thing, it ain't going nowhere, and that's kind of what we want here, right? It's not going nowhere. So it is fully seated there. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take these bolts off here on this shaft, and this is at 3/4 inch, and I'm gonna use this impact because, you know, why not use this on my mains and impact? Oh my God, what is going on screen? There we go. So shout out to my buddy Billy. He's the one that let me use this impact. I don't have one, but he did, so that's good. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Oh my God, oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ass on.
That's not working. Might have to get a breaker bar. Let's try another one. Aha, we got one. All right, 1 out of 8 so far, but we're gonna get it. So, Miko gets. Woo, that thing is hot, boy. Let me go get something for this. Okay, back with a breaker bar. It's a small one, but we're gonna see if this works.
Huh?
I feel like I'm gonna break that. These things are on there, son. Is it working?
Brother, what's that?
I need a longer breaker bar, guys.
What's that, brother?
This is not gonna work. Try to get different one. Got one. Got it. Got it. It's probably hot. Oh, there we go. That one went. Okay. You guys are watching me work now. God dang it. See, this is why I got big ass jack stands, because I can like wrench on this thing. There we go. Got it. There we go. Oh. You know, some people, they make this task look easy. It is absolutely not. A pain in the butt every step of the way, especially like these old axles. Like, it's like almost these are like fused together. It feels like anyway. God dang!
Gotcha, bitch!
Got it! I may try to get new bolts. These are kind of like wore out. We'll see. So that should probably open. Aha! There we go. See? Just a little flathead. Prying open. So now this shaft should pull all the way out. You hear that click? That means it came off the locker that's in there. I don't know what kind of lockers in these. I've never opened this up, or the pumpkin, so I still don't have any way of knowing. Just had to get some paper towels and some gloves. I'm gonna put some gloves on now. You know what's really interesting is I want to see how many splines we have on this shaft. So whenever I do order like new lockers or something like that, then I'll know exactly what I'll need to get for this setup. I can always change these out while I'm in here and get new ones, but you know, I guess it's like another $1,000 or something. I don't know. You actually know how much it costs for you know, 14 volt full float rear shafts? You know, leave down in the comments below. Curious. I haven't done a whole lot of digging, so I'm not sure. But we got our gloves on. I'm just gonna pull this whole thing out Hopefully I got enough room in here. Yes, I do. Barely enough room. Okay. Have to clean this up real good. Get some brake cleaner and shine her up before we stick her back in. There's some kind of rubber seal on here. We're gonna have to cut that off. That seal that's on there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. But that's definitely got to go. Let's see. Let's count the splines now. Fuck, I lost count. 30 spline. It's a 30 spline. So, okay, so we got a good 30 spline. I guess I gotta notice that from the diameter. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think splines increase as the diameter of the rod increases. And that's how you can tell what the loading is on these axles. So, yeah. Which I think is really neat how these are set up, right? So you've got like all the gearings up there, and the rod fully floats all the way to this end here, which is just on bearings. And you know, the wheel spins basically just being attached to this guy, which I think is neat. This is where all the energy is, right? All the torsion happens from here. So, really neat design, pretty simple, really, in all reality. I think that's why they, you know, these are kind of like, you know, designs like this are favored because, I mean, look at this. You jack it up, you remove the tire, 8 bolts, and you can start fully servicing this thing, right? So, interesting. Yeah, just something I wanted to point out. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get some brake cleaner. Some brake cleaner. I don't know where I'm gonna put this. Somewhere safe. Safe and out of the way. Okay, so the next task is a little bit further in here. You can't see it from your angle, but there's these clips around this ring here. Let me just take these gloves off. Rather waste gloves and show you guys like the full process than, you know, leave any bit of detail out. But let's see, can you guys see that in there? Let's try. You see that in there? Okay, so let me get my flathead. So you see these clips here? So these clips we gotta bend back in order to spin this ring off. We're gonna try to replace all this. Jesus, only one was fully seated. That's just crazy. All right, we're gonna take this ring off. I've got a new tool for it, which I'm gonna show you guys here. GM axle hub nut socket. That's what it's called. Can you guys see this? All right, so this is a GM axle hub socket. And so what this is, this tool here does is it seats in here, at least it's supposed to, and take that out.
Bruh.
But that is not fitting. Interesting. Why does that not fit? So 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we have a problem here. A problem. This is supposed to fit in there and lock in, but that ain't working. I may have to go back to the store and see if I can't get the correct version of this. Okay? All right, back to the store we go. We'll try to get that tool so I'm not jerry-rigging it, which I could jerry-rig, but I don't want to damage that ring because I don't know if I have one, but we'll find out. All right. All right, guys, so I finally went to O'Reilly's and I did find the correct socket, which is this right here. It's a 4-wheel bearing lock nut socket 6 lug. right? And so that should fit right over this. And let's see here. We're gonna take this, put that bad boy in there, like that. I'm gonna have to beat this thing in. I don't really have a hammer on me with it. There we go. Look at that. Came right off. Okay, there we go. It's spinning off. So there we go. So there's the ring. I did get a new ring, but it doesn't look the same. I don't know. So here's the new ring and here's the old ring. That ain't gonna work. This piece here can come off. Let me go get my needle nose pliers. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, this is kind of like a washer that locks into place, and then this goes over top of it. And once you tighten these up, this nut up, these little legs fold up over. You're supposed to fold them up and over. We can see this one here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a crack in this one. I'm gonna try to find this piece and get it ordered here today. So hopefully maybe I can get it overnighted so we can get these seated properly and on. There's also another, so this is the first set. And now I'm gonna get the second set out. There's another another okay. There's another ring in here. It locks down. Oh, look at that, it's loose now. Look at that. And there's the other one. Okay. Now, this whole assembly should come off. Like that. So that's good. That's what we wanted. Okay. Now, what's interesting is these brake pads are really gross. Like, look at that. Super gross. All right, so there should have been another washer that goes on over this, right? So technically, you've got your bearing here, right? And then you put a washer in that fits in this groove, and then you have one ring, right? And then you have this that fits in those grooves, and then you have another ring, right? And that's how this is supposed to go. But looking into this hub assembly, we do not have that other ring. So I'm already missing parts that I do not have. So I'm gonna have to order them. And we'll just have to see how that goes, and hopefully I can get them in time, so I can get this, ready to go. So it's a good thing that I'm working on this side. I can leave that other side closed up until I get those other parts in, but we can go ahead and take the rest of this assembly apart just so we can see what else is in here. And you can see how much old and corrosion is in here. Like, this is like insane. Can you see that? Like, holy schmolies. Look at that. This is just, I mean, it was just caked in there. But the housing itself looks okay. I'm gonna like clean it up and make sure it's lubricated. This has definitely got oil in it, so that's good. Yeah, this is just, it's gonna be good once I get this thing off. But yeah, so gotta do the next steps. Here we go. Okay, so the next thing we gotta do here to take this off is there's 4 bolts here, there's brake lines on the back, and then there's a parking brake lever right here that goes up to the cab. So I'm gonna try to attempt to take this off, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. This fucking thing won't come off, and I don't know how it's seated in the back. But I know it needs to come off. Oh, finally got it. 13 minutes later. Jesus, bro, look at it. Okay, so that is off. All right, so I think I got a method to my madness now on how to take that off. I think this other thing that's going to be a 1/2 inch, I'm going to try to take that off. And then this over here is going to be even smaller. So let's, oh, okay, here we go. So I think it's a 1/2 inch on the back for that parking brake. Fuck. Just spinning. Okay. So, is this also a 1/2 inch? Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go get a 1/2 inch drive, and we will get this off of there. Hurt those threads. All right, one more. You just gotta finesse her. And again, like I'm not an expert at this, you know what I mean? So feel free to leave a comment down below and maybe give me some pointers, right, on how to do this next time. Of course, I'll never do this again, but you know, because this is a conversion, but you know, it's good to see like what I did wrong, what I could have done right. Luckily, I wasn't reusing any of this stuff, right? So I could kind of start taking little pieces of this brake apart. But I didn't want to cut this brake cable because I don't know if I need it. I know I've got some stuff in the kit, but I don't know everything I have in the kit. I know I got to read. And that, sir, is how you take off a parking brake. So what I like to do is, like, if I'm putting things to the side or whatever and I don't want to lose bolts, so I can replace these. I mean, they're really rusted, but at least so I can keep track of them for the meantime with the type of washers they have and all that. Right back on the assembly, the parking brake assembly, and then get back to it later, right? There's that. Now I just got the brake line. After the brake line is off, before I pull these bolts, I'll put some light up for you guys, and that way we can see. I think this might be a 3/8 back here. Oh, it is a 3/8. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. And there's the brake fluid. Okay, so that's done. Now we just gotta take these 4 bolts out. And I'm gonna get some more light, show you guys exactly what I did and how I did that. And I'll go through it a little bit more detail. Let's see. Let me wipe my hands off. They're all sweaty. Okay, so the fucking battery died. I gotta get new batteries for this. I got some coming in, so hopefully that'll alleviate a lot of these issues that I'm having. Okay, so back to it. So like I was saying before, the parking brake is attached to this point right here. You kind of gotta like pull it apart from the spring in the big end, and then jimmy it up and out of this bracket on the backside. So it should come up like this, right? Once it pops off, you come over here. You come over here to this side. You see that right there? There's actually bolts that hold the parking brake on to this assembly. So you just unbolt those, and then the whole thing comes off. Here's the bolts. It just kind of slides out of there, right? Boop, 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 boop. Okay? Then the last thing you got to do is you got to take the brake line. Luckily, mine didn't bind up, but there's a brake line in here somewhere. Is this it? No, right here. Okay. So you probably can't see it, but there. Okay. So there's a brake line that fits right there, and it's a 3/8. So you just take that off, and there it is. You can see it hanging right there. That little guy right there just kind of fits right in there, and that's your brakes for drum brakes setup. But we're not going to be using that anymore, right? So we got to take these bolts off. See how they're right there on this axle? And right here, we're going to be taking those guys off. All right? And we're going to do that right now. All right, guys. It is later in the night. And the reason why it's already dark, for those of you wondering why, is because I had my father come see our new kid, Hudson, and yeah, so we're doing some family time. That being said, it is now time to get back to work. My wife is going to bed, and she said that she was going to let me do this and take care of Hudson for a few hours until I get back inside to take a shower. Okay, so we need to crank on this. Golly. There we go. There's one. Remember, I said there's 4 of these. Okay. Okay.
one's loose. Okay, there's two. Gotta be careful with these threads. There it goes. Okay. Ooh, that got close to those threads. Ah, there we go. There we go. Popped them off. Just like that. Alright, it's starting to move now. To kind of clean this up a bit, let that soak in there. Alright, cool. So I just got to clean all this up, all the surfaces, and then I can get ready to mount all these other parts that are on here. It looks like, I mean, this thing is so fucking old, man. Like, all right, guys. So I sprayed some brake cleaner on there, let it sit for a minute. But I got this. I'm trying to clean this up a little bit. So I don't want to do this part here. This is a machined area, but this other area up here is not machined. So it should be fine.